accredited college in the Konkan region. With the vision of the Gharda sir, the education is the movement from the darkness to the light. We are working over here. In short, I will explain about the Department of Civil Engineering, what is the key features of the Department of the Civil Engineering. We have a well-designed undergraduate courses with the guidance of the industry because this institute is running by the Gharda Chemicals Limited, and under the guidance of the Mumbai University, we are running the courses for the undergraduates. We have a well-experienced faculties in the various areas like a geotech engineering, environmental engineering, structural engineering, and the various areas. We have different experts, PhD professors with us in our civil departments. Also, we have a well-equipped lab and the infrastructures. In Konkan region, Gharda Institute, the only institute that is running the consultancy in the civil industries, in the construction industry, and giving the services throughout the last 10 years for the civil engineers or the contractors from the Konkan region. And we have a better placement than the other institutes in our civil engineering department as well as for the Gharda Institute of Technology. Today's resource person, the we I'm going to be just in short introducing this sir, Professor BT Ade, having the construction management ME in construction management, and he is a certified Microsoft project professional with the Oracle Primavera specialist and having a 20 years of the experience in training, consultancy, and the teaching as well as in the industries. Having different applications and the expertise in the project planning, schedulings, controls, BIM, AutoCAD, advanced Excels, and giving the number of the training programs in the various institutes or the various companies he worked for. As a major client for his companies are Shapurji Palanji, Public Work Department, then Gulfar Engineering and Contracting, Oman, and another one, other international maritime industries, Saudi Arabia, and along with many more companies, he given a training over the Microsoft project and the Primaveras. So right now I am going to be hand over this complete session to the Professor BT Ade. Welcome sir for this event, and definitely we will enjoy this webinar with your guidance. Thank you sir.
Yeah. Okay. So good morning all. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So first of all, I'm thankful to management of Gharda Institute of Technology, Principal Dr. Pramod Joshi sir, HOD S.K.Patil sir, Convener Professor V.R. Kasar, all faculties. You have been given me an opportunity to present the online webinar. The title is Application of MS Project in Construction Management. I'm guessing that the background of the attendees are, if you are from the professor background, PhD scholars and PG students. I will try to just give or to explain with the help of a simple example what is the application of MS project. Initial 45 minutes will be the presentation part, and after that I will take question and answers. So I'm requesting to all attendees to put your questions in a chat box, and so that at the end I will take all questions. One more thing, that in case of power failure, you are there with me for 2-3 minutes. I will try to resume back in case of power failure, right? Okay, so here I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, hope it's visible to all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so in case of maybe interruption in the screen, just please let me know because I will not see the Zoom. Sorry, it's a Google Meet window. So better somebody should inform me that in case of the interruptions. So first of all, thank you. This was my complete introduction. So I will not spend time again for the introduction.
Sir, Sir, please share the screen again.
Okay, just a moment. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Before starting, sir, wait a minute. Sir,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Hmm.
Before starting this session, to all participants, my request is that don't present your screen. Otherwise, you will miss lot of information from this session. So you have to be join the session only, not present your own screen. Okay. So take care of all these things. If any disturbances from your side, mute your mic. Otherwise, definitely from our side, we will meet you. Mute your sound. Okay. Sir, start.
Okay, thank you. So the agenda of today's topic is first how to develop a schedule model. Now, what is the schedule model? Which are the inputs? Whether the schedule model is same for all project. So that part we are going to discuss. Then the application of MS Project software. See, there are so many applications, you can say the softwares available in the market. There are two things to always remember. One thing is that you have to effectively use all the tools to complete your project. Everyone knows that there is different software like building information modeling, where you can find out the estimation, then the project management softwares, so many softwares. So all the softwares are there, no doubt. But ultimately that you have to fully utilize all software to complete your project. One very important point is that you have to drive the software. It should not be reverse. The software is driving you. As per your requirement, you have to gather all this information and you have to use software effectively. That is how we are going to use it. I will just provide you the demo. Then resource planning. Everyone knows that without any resource, we cannot complete any project. From the beginning of the project to the end of the project, we require so many resources in the form of labors, non-labors, equipments, and so on. So how to plan it and how to define the cash flow. Cash flow is nothing but it's a how much amount I need to spend to complete my project. So if you just take it here along x-axis, it will be the time, and along y-axis, it will be the cost, and how you are going to generate the cash flow of the project, and like this. It's very important as a point of as a client, subcontractor, and so on. So how to generate that we are going to discuss. Monitoring and controlling. If you have done excellent planning, you have done very good scheduling, you have used the software, but if you are not monitoring and not controlling, your project will fail 100%. And most of the time, I get questions from the students that just show any project which we have planned and successfully completed. The project we have completed within the time, within the budget, and within the scope. So you will get a rare project where you have planned as it is and you have achieved same as it is. But still, it doesn't mean that we should not plan. At least we will come to that how much is the deviation from our original plan and how much we have achieved. Reports will be generated after all these inputs. There are different types of reports will be generated. Here at this point, if you are working as a planning engineer or those who will work as a planning engineer or project manager, and even those who are working as a professor also, when you are reporting to your higher authority, that you have to summarize data in a small sheet. That's it. Because that represents the overall summary of all the information. and the top management will take the decisions on your project summary. And so that how to generate all the reports we will discuss. And mainly again, one more question, which software is better, MS Project or Primavera? Here we will discuss in detail at the end, and at the last we will take a question and answers. Okay, so if you are working as a planning engineer or project coordinator, or maybe any person who is coordinating all the project, first of all, you just consider that this is the part. First of all, it's a execution. Execution is driving, because execution is forcing to what you have to plan the project. Before plan that, you have to go maybe for the design of the project and so on, right? So the execution part is the integral part. But before I just go for entire project, I should not focus on only the scope, time, and cost. You can see on this maybe the screen that first of all, you must know what is the scope of the project. And this is very important. Scope, what is the inside and what is the outside. We should not take any activities which is the outside of the scope. Most of the time, participants or the planning engineer, what they do, they start the software and they directly start adding up the activities without logically adding the scope of the project and the flow of the project. So that is a wrong approach, because unless you know the scope of any project, how it's possible to proceed to define the activities? Not possible. And so that the topmost part that you must know about the scope. Now, whether scope can be freeze, 100% freeze in the beginning, not necessary, because depends on the information that you are getting. You have to just freeze that part and you have to go ahead. There will be the refinement in the scope of the project. It's a continuous process. Friend, you just understand that the planning is not a one-time job. There are so many iterations, so many revisions that you have to do. And again, you have to come back to the original position and so many iterations. So first, make sure that you have defined the scope of your project. Then how much is the time required, then the cost. Obviously, the quality is the integral part of any project. Resources, the communication. Here I will tell you, it's not an English communication. This is the communication between all these team members. And you please believe me that 90% of project managers' time spent in only communication. So he's conducting so many meetings. Even you might have observed about your maybe the head or the principal or director. Maximum time they are spending time for the meetings, conducting meetings to take decisions. Same thing about the project management. I'm not here to just tell you about the theory, but I'm just making some background so that you will understand the application of the software. Otherwise, just adding activities and preparing a schedule is not a scheduling part, or it's not a logically the right things. So communication, risk. Without risk, you cannot complete a single project. You have to identify all the risks, you have to anticipate all the risks, and you have to just mitigate all the risks. Then the procurement is a purchase of all these materials and stakeholders, the people involving in the project. Then along x-axis, we have all the process groups interacting and everything that we are going to complete for the project and for the successful completion of the project. And so here I want to say, just don't focus on time and cost. There are other parameters where you have to focus about the scope, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholders. Okay. Now, let us consider one simple example where you are working with a company, a contracting company, and one contract has been awarded to you. So you have bagged one contract. So how you will start? The moment you have awarded the contract, then next 15 days, you have to prepare a schedule. You have to produce a schedule to the client and how to prepare. But all this part has to go in a flow. Without getting the scope, you cannot proceed. But if you see any project, you take any project in the world that you are not doing like this. If I just go here like this, you are not completing first of all the initiating, then we are planning it, then we are executing it, monitoring, controlling, and close. No, this is not a right way to complete any project, because all the process, they are interacting to each other. And so that on a screen that we can see, this is, first of all, you can see this is the initiating phase. There is no need to wait to complete for all the initiating. You can start parallelly. What you can start? You can start the planning of, you can see here, this is the planning process. It's a continuous. And then there will be the execution. This is the execution which takes the maximum time, effort to complete the project. And at the end of the project, so here you are not ending maybe at the end. So somewhere you are starting the ending from here. Let me just give a simple example at this moment. This is the cross section of excavation, and you have appointed one subcontractor to excavate all this soil. He has completed the work as per the requirement, as per the quality. Now, are you asking him to wait for the payment till the end of the project? Definitely not. Means what? After completion of his work, you are checking all the works and you are completing all this billing part, payment part to him. And means for him, this is the starting of the closing of the project. But for you, the end of the project will be somewhere here. So we are starting the closing of the project much earlier. And the most important part is that what about the monitoring and controlling? The monitoring and controlling is throughout your project. This is the monitoring and controlling. You have to do it.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, this is Vivek Kasar.
Yes.
Actually, you have to be present your presentation. Somebody presented his own phone. So again, please presentation gets stopped right now here, and the mic is disturbance. So you have to be mute one mic from your side, sir.
I have a single mic only.
Okay.
I think
sir, I believe the mic is dangling in the wind. So probably check if it is flowing along, if it is moving along the pace. Because
is it audible now?
The sound is kind of windy, sir. That is the problem. Earlier it was fine. When you started the session, it was all fine. Now it is kind of sounding windy.
Now,
yeah, it has stopped now, sir. Please continue.
Okay. No
yes,
problem.
It's fine
now. Please mute your mics.
Okay. So all participants, you please mute your mic. Okay. So coming back to schedule model. For the schedule model, this is unique for every project. When you are developing any schedule model, first of all, you decide which method you are going to use. And most of you know about few methods like critical path method, then critical chain method. There are new terms which is agile and so on. So now you first fix which method you are going to use it. That is number one. Number two, you decide which tool you are going to use. Are you going to use MS Project or Primavera or Excel? That you have to decide. That is number two. Just having number one and number two, you cannot develop a schedule. You require, that is number three, that is the project information. And that project information consists of the scope of the project, then the work breakdown structure, then the activities, resources, constraint, calendar, ... And then you are completing this model and you are presenting a report. How will be the output? The output you can see in the form of the Gantt chart or network diagram or the milestones and the activity tables. So this is very important because, and it has to be very dynamic. Again, I'm just writing here. It should be dynamic. What are the changes you are changing here in the model? That has to be calculated. That has to be impact on your output. This is the overall flow of to develop a schedule of any project. I will not go in detail because this is not the basically theoretical part, but still, generally what happens whenever you are getting any project, you will get the start time of the project and end time of the project. It's the start and the finish of the project. And in between, there would be the contractual milestones. So these are all the milestones will be clearly mentioned and you have to just follow all these milestones. Now, these milestones will be connected with the progress of the project and the payment terms. And so that, first of all, you have to define the milestones of the project, then you have to develop all the schedule and you have to control it. Now, I'm just going to show you about the demo on MS project. As I mentioned that all your schedule models should be dynamic. We are going to discuss about a few features about the timeline, how we can see the look ahead plan. Just we can imagine that you have the start and finish of the project. So this is your overall start and overall finish of the project. And you have already planned some activities. So these are all activities you can see on a screen. Now what happens in the beginning of the project? This is my start date. Let us consider here it's a 1/7/2020. And now you have to plan for next 1 month, means till. Let us consider here is a 30/7/2020. So I have to just look ahead how many activities I have to plan, how many resources I have to purchase, and like this. So this is called it's look ahead plan, and that will be continued and you have to monitor it. So here I'm going to show you about the demonstration on this screen. I hope I'm audible and my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is MS Project software. This is very user-friendly. First of all, you can see on the left-hand side, this is the table, and on the right-hand side, this is the Gantt chart, where you can just produce all this report. Let me show one simple project, and that is the Clubhouse. How to add activities, I will show you, but before that, this is the project. Simple Clubhouse project. This is the different views of the Clubhouse project, and I have to prepare a schedule. But when you are preparing a schedule, you first get understand what is your scope, whether you are working as a client or you are working as a subcontractor, and if entire work has been given or awarded to the subcontractor and he has to manage. Now, though it's looking in a picture that there's a trees and garden, and is it a part of your scope? Then this is poles. Is it a part of your scope? If yes, you have to plan it first. And before you just go for the planning of any project, after defining the scope of the project, again coming back to your WBS, this is the big WBS. This is the work breakdown structure where you have to decompose, means break down your entire project into the sub part. Why you have to break? Because it's very easy to find out any loopholes. If you are skipping this step, 100% guarantee that you will miss some result or some deliverables, or you may miss some activities. So you have to complete scope, then WBS.
Sorry, sir, disturbing you, but please share screen. Screen is not visible, sir.
Hello?
Yes, I'm going to share once again.
Ade sir,
Yes.
the screen was visible. I'm just informing to all the participants. There is a icon called as a participant list on the screen on mobile also. You have to select on that participant list. You will come across two names, Ade Beti, 2 times. There is one photo, another is a monitor kind of icon. You have to select that icon so that the screen of presenter will be visible to you. If you select any of the list other than that Ade Beti, you will not be able to see the screen of the presenter. So already he is presenting, but some of you have not selected the proper screen. Please take care.
You have to pin that screen. If you put pin on that screen will not move.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Should I proceed?
Yes, sir, please.
Hello. Should I
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead?
Yes, please. Yes, please, sir.
Okay. So we were talking about the screen part. On the left-hand side, this is the table, and on the right-hand side, this is the Gantt chart. And I have given you one simple example about the Clubhouse. This is the schedule of the Clubhouse. When you are adding any activities, at which level you have to add, again, is a part of the planning. Because simply, I can add hardly 20 to 30 activity, or same thing, I can just add number of activities you can see on a screen. It could be 100, 200. It's totally depends on your requirement. Okay, so this is the Gantt chart and this network. Now, in case of MS project, you have to first add all this WBS, then you have to add activities, add all the durations. Now here, how I can add durations? Again, there is a logic. Arbitrary or approximately, you cannot assume something and you cannot add durations. To determine the durations of any activity, you must know the quantities, number one. Number two, you must know the productivity of resources. For example, one carpenter and one helper, they can do average 10 square meter of shuttering work in a standard 8 hours. So that kind of information that you must know for each and every resources. There is a one input that you can get it to find out the durations. Now, can I take information from the seniors or those who were working for the similar kind of the project? Definitely, we can take all this input. And the best way I can say, which is I can recommend you that if you are confused about to determine the durations of a single activity, it's a best way to get input the person who is working on that activity. For example, suppose you don't know how many days it will take place to complete total painting work. Can I ask to a painter or the contractor of the painter? Definitely you can ask, provided that he's qualified, he's having rich experience about the project or the activities. So, but every time you should not depend on the subcontractor, because you are planning in the beginning of the project. Later on, you will appoint as a contractor or subcontractor. At that time, subcontractor may not be available, but the best way is that you should have all these quantities and the productivity. If you take example of any big companies like L&T, Shapoorji, they have accumulated their own productivity and they are using internally. They will not disclose that is what is the productivity, and all productivity of the resources may vary from site to site, location to location. But yes, at least you should have some benchmark or the baseline, right? And then you can decide the durations of activities. Then on this right hand side, you can see logically you have to provide the relationship between all activities. Software doesn't know what is PCC or excavation or RCC. Software will consider just an activity. If you are going reverse, first of all completing PCC and then excavation, software doesn't have any sense to maintain a logic. All this logical relationship we have to provide to the software. Always remember, friends, this is just a software who provide you data or who will do some assessment, and we will get data on the screen. We have to analyze. And one more thing that you cannot replace, there will not be any atomization in the planning. You know that there is an enhancement in every department. Like there are so many softwares are available. There is no software available in the world where I can tell to software that this is my plot area. For example, I have plot area 40 by 60 meter plot area. I want to construct ground plus 2-story bungalow. You please give me overall estimation, give me overall design, give me overall schedule, right? So it's not possible. So you have to provide input which is correct for the project, right? Now, after providing all this input and all this logical relationship, then you can do for the analysis. The software is so dynamic. For example, if I'm starting the project, as of now, you can see this is the 1st July 20 is the start of the project, and 9th December 20 is the end of the project. Now, due to some unavoidable conditions, or could be currently we are facing pandemic situation, due to that, if the project is getting extended, it's very easy for us to get the new date. You can see here, this is the date. The moment if I'm changing my start date of the project, and suppose I'm starting my project from the 1st September, and if I select here, okay, now within fraction of second that you will get all the start date, finish date of the project. The same thing if I'm doing manually, definitely I can do it, but it will take time. I have to sit with the calendars and I have to just maintain all this start and finish date. So this is the very dynamic. Even you can go reverse condition. For example, you want to finish your project on a specific day. I want to finish my entire project on 31st March 20. If I just go back here, in that case, you can see here on which day you have to start your project. Going back here, you can see this should be your start date of the project. Sometimes there would be two restrictions. Start date is fixed, end date also fixed. How to do it? Okay, so that also we have options. Now, let me just go back here and I will show you a few things which is applicable. Suppose we have one project, any project which we have, and only for the demonstration purpose, I'm just providing here, this is 20 days. And now we have some activities. Let me just put here activity. Only this is I'm just providing only for the demonstration purpose to get all these ideas that how the software provide maybe the error or will get some ideas. Now you can see on this right hand side, I have this time limit. And if I'm just linking all activities, maybe some activity I'm starting parallelly. Okay, so this is easy for me. Now, the moment if I just link here, you will get, okay, let me just change here. Okay, so here in this case, I can just find out here how many days I can have, and I can just find out here, this is the given date, but already I'm crossing my limit. In that case, I have to again compress my entire network. But compressing entire network and fitting into this 20 days, let me just again just go here, it's an indent, so that you will come to know that this is I'm getting here red color means already I have crossed my limit. So how you can just change it? There are so many options available to change it. Either we can start your activity parallelly, and so that we are just going to fit your project. For example, it's like this. Then again, let me just go here, just change. It's like this. Now it's okay. I'm fitting my entire project from the start and the end of the project. So like this, we can do all this planning in the beginning of the project. Okay, going back to again the project and the clubhouse. Now, let us focus on in this Gantt chart. The moment if I select here, you can see some colors are changing. Again, I'm repeating. If I select any activities, now you can see there is some the orange color, it's a blue color. Again, if I'm selecting here, some purple color, blue color, what this color indicate? This is very dynamic. What this indicate? This indicate that for the casting of PCC work, these are all activities are responsible. If I do change anything in all this colored, definitely it will be impact on my this activity. And so that I'm getting here, I should not change anything on the project or how it should be dynamic. So this is the one thing. And even let me just do some settings to get the changes. Here I'm just putting some colors so that we can see. Okay. Now what happens? Suppose we have an activity and that is the casting of PCC. As of now, it's a 1 day. But if I'm making here 3 days, due to that, what will happen? Due to this 3 days, number one, it will be impact on my overall project durations and my end date will get changed. So is it the case for all activities? No. This is totally applicable about the critical and non-critical activities, but I can see which are the changes I can make it. And so this is very easy for us to find out. Even from all this project, there are so many options available. Let me again just take it back, my entire project. And this is, I'm just taking here from, let us consider here, this is in the month of June, only for the demonstration purpose. It's a month of June and click on OK. Now here you can find out that how many activities I have to complete in this week or in this month. There's options available, filter, there are so many filters are available. For example, I want to focus maybe in a next week. So next week I have to complete all these activities. And like this, you can concentrate, you can again plan in detail. Similarly, that we have so many options are available to find out which activity I have to complete maybe the next week, this week, last week, next month, and so on. So This is all information is available on our fingertips. Similarly, there are options available. For example, if I just go here and if I'm just using here subcontract, generally what happens on site that you have to just prepare a separate schedule for the subcontractor wise. For example, you can see it's a path construction. He has to complete all activities, but it's for the entire project. Now, in this case, what I will do, I will just do some changes. I will go here, it's more group and subcontractor. I will just edit it and I will go for maybe the start date. And I will just change all the date as per the month, save, and I will just click on apply. Now, what you are getting on the screen, first of all, you are getting here, this is the subcontractor, and in the month of June, he has to do all this activity. In the month of July, he has to do all these activities and so on. So like this, you will get all this scheduling part. And there's so many options available. Along this, if I just go here in the view, and if I just click on timeline, you can see on a screen, this is the timeline where the top management, they will focus on this area only because they have to take a decisions. How to prepare it is a different part, but yes, definitely that this is very important for the top management because top management, they will refer only this chart. Why they will refer only this chart? Because just don't think that or don't try to show all these activities, and the activity could be more than 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. They don't have that much time to just go in detail. They will see only these milestones. For example, today is the date. Till today, which milestone we are supposed to get completed, whether we have completed or not. If completed, it's okay. If not completed, what is the reason why you are not completed? And so many things are there. So this is the chart which is applicable to the top management. Okay, going back to resources. I'm just using a different file. Okay, so this is a different file to just demonstrate about the resources. Here we can just go in the resource sheet and you have the list of all the resources. All resources. You can see starting from a small pin to a big machine, you can just put all these resources. We can provide all this, maybe the costing part. You can find out overall the quantities, overall cost. But the beauty of this one is if I go here in resource uses, let me just put it here. For example, let me just remove no filter. Okay, now you can see on a screen that I have all resources. I will get all resources. Let us take simple example, 8 mm steel bar. I need overall steel, that is, this is the quantity, this is the overall cost. But whether I need this steel in 1 month or 2 months, you can find out that out of this total steel, how much steel that you require in every month. Why this is important? Because you have to plan. You cannot purchase entire steel in the beginning of the project. Otherwise, you will block your money. And so that we have to plan it. Not only this planning part, if I right click and if I just see the actual work, you can see one column actual work means you can just trace out that this was my planned quantity and in the month of June, how much actually I have used. Like this, we can go for the reconciliation. Reconciliation is to find out the differences between the theoretical and actual. So you can find out, and at the end that you will come to that, how much was my planned quantity, how much is my actual quantity, how much is the wastage, and that everything you can find out it. Not only the quantities, you can right click here and you can find out here how much is the cost in every month, right? And so the costing part will be distributed for the every activity and you will get the cost of the entire project. And subsequently, it goes to the reports. If I go here in a project and if I just go here, the cash flow of the project. So this is the cash flow which will be generated. And this cash flow, if I just take it here in a different platform, just demonstrate purpose. Okay, so this is the screen is very important because in case of maybe the cumulative curve, if I just provide here, this is maybe the cumulative curve which I will get in a different part. On a particular day, if you are tracking any activities, suppose you are tracking at this level or this is my status line, I can consider this is the status date. The status date till which you are tracking your entire activity. So this is my planned cost. We can see this is the targeted, it's a targeted cost. I I'm supposed to complete this cost, but there could be different platform or different cost. This could be my actual cost. This is the actual cost, right? Now, next graph we have to generate, and it's again, let me just show here. This is my one more curve which we get, and this is subsequently goes to the earned value. And so you can have the forecast. If you spend extra, in that case, how much will be the extra cost I will get at the end of the project? And so this kind of curve we can generate, and we can go for the monitoring and controlling. Okay, so let me again just show the last part of the monitoring and controlling. Here I'm just using here the tracking Gantt. Right click here, and I'm just using here the tracking. Let's assume that we have planned the project, and I'm just setting some baselines reference point, right? Due to some unavoidable conditions, your project has not started on time. It has delayed. Now you can see these are all activities I have computed. I'll just make it here. Maybe it's 100% for this activities, or the control Z. Okay, so for example, I will just make it here few activities which is 100%. Now you can see on a screen, you can see this activity was supposed to start here, but there's a deviations. How much is the deviations? You can find out graphically. Right click here. You can show with this slippage that you can see the line. This much is the slippage for all these activities. And due to this slippage, my overall project will get delayed. By how many days it will get delayed? You can see the forecast. I will just go at the last activity, task, and scroll to task. Now you are expecting that this much is the deviation from my original. This was my planned end date of the project, but currently my activity has delayed or will get delayed by these many days. How many days? That we can see in a table, and that I have to go for the variances. Overall, we can see the 7 days delays, and obviously this is the only demonstration purpose, but definitely that you will get, I can delay my entire activities by 7 days. If you are working as a planning engineer, are you going to produce this kind of report? You are approaching to your top management that, sir, there is delay in the activity in the beginning of the project, and our project will get delayed by 7 days. Whether your boss or whether your superior will be happy? Definitely no. So one thing which I have learned from the experience that no boss like only the complaints. No doubt, if there are any issues, you go with these 2-3 solutions. Let him decide which is the best solution, but at least you have to just come with the solution that in this case, how you can recover all these 7 days? What is the strategy? Are you going to start some activity parallelly, or are you going to increase some resources? So always focus on the solution. Here, one thing which is the tip I'm going to give to all those who are doing the undergraduate. Basically, when you are developing any schedule, you have to develop, and that should be workable, means it should be realistic. If you are just preparing some activities and schedule which is not applicable on the site, there is no need to prepare any schedule. And even without scheduling, for example, if you have not developed the schedule, still the work is going on site, you please remember that there is no need to have any planning engineer. You are there to help to execution team members to get their work or their burden, or you are there to help them. Otherwise, most of the time, the planning engineer, they are sitting in a head office and they are just forcing to site people or execution people to do the work. This is not a good approach. You have to take the inputs from all the departments, because without the support from the other department, you cannot complete. And the project is a coordination part between all these team members. Definitely that you can find out all these differences, and you can find out, and you have to just decide the strategy, how you have to bring back your entire project. Okay, so there are so many options available basically in the software, including all the resources, resource leveling. We can have the combined resource sharing part, means like in ERP system, if I have the central resource system, in that case, I can pick up a resource and I can use for my project. Is it possible in MS Project? The answer is yes. So you can share resources, and there is no limit. Virtually, there is no limit for the resources and activities. Somebody will ask that if my project is very complex, can I add activities more than 10,000, 20,000, 30,000? The answer is yes, go ahead, because you can add activity till 1 lakh in a single file and 1 lakh resources in a single file. And I don't think that you will reach up to that limit, right? Okay, so, but the point is here that you can share all the resources, you can avoid all the duplication work, you can go for resource labeling, resource smoothing, the fast tracking. So all the options are available here to just complete your entire project. There are so many reports are available about the burn down chart, the cost overview, then it's a work overview. Resources are there, resource optimization, cash flows, earned values, in progress activities, milestone activities, and so many options are available. You can plan at the project level, you can define the calendar for the project. You can combine more than 10 projects. Suppose there's a big township. Let me just take you this different level. Okay. Suppose you are working in a big township. So this is a big township, and you have a different project, or it's a building A. It's a building A, building B. There is a swimming pool, and there's a clubhouse. So I need the summary of all project, means it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So can I get the summary of all sub project? The answer is yes, you will get it. But you have to plan it as per that, because first of all, you understand the concept about the project management. Every project is unique in nature. You cannot apply the same logic for all project. Coming back to this MS project, so we have different views. You can change your view as per your requirement. Then there's a different format. You can just produce all the report in a different format and so on. So this is about the overall application of the MS project, where, let me just revise it. You can start journey with this WBS. So you have to prepare a realistic WBS. So this is the WBS you have to prepare. After WBS, you have to add activities. Then you have to decide the durations. Then assign the resources. Then see the cash flow. Then you can monitoring and controlling the project. You can generate different types of reports and so on. So this is the complete part. The last part, which is basically the comparison between two software, which software is good. Okay. At this stage, generally, basically the question is not valid. Why it's not valid? Because you cannot compare one person to other person, because every person is unique in nature, and so that every software is unique. But again, as per my understanding, this software, if you see here, this is MS project, is more user friendly as compared to Primavera, right? So this is more user friendly as compared to Primavera. In case of Primavera, there is a database. Database means all the data will be stored centrally, and there is a, again, enhancement in the software. Just you imagine you are working here. Maybe suppose this is your server, this is your main server, and different peoples are connected across a region. Okay, like this. Now all are connected through line. And if one person is working on one project, it can be updated to the server to all people, those who are working for the same or similar kind of the project. So everybody can work on a platform by using a server or maybe the cloud base. So these are demands, depends on the demands of the constructions, and you can just collaborate it, not only for the planning purpose, but for other part also. Like in the beginning, I told that it's in the building information modeling, that if you change the position of the window, it can be known to everyone at the same time. So the communication is so fast, and that is that we can do. That is available for both the software. Okay. Now, Primavera P6, I have seen, because I have conducted training in Middle East, where the most of the people, they prefer Primavera. In Indian scenario, if I give example, there are a few companies, but out of that, Pune Metro, one of maybe the company which is using Primavera. But whether I have to go for MSP or Primavera, it totally depends on your requirement. Like you are confused which mobile phone is good, whether Apple is good or Samsung is good. Both phones are good. The thing is that what is your requirement, what is your capacity, what is your budget? Okay, it depends on that. You can use any mobile phone. Similar to that, both the softwares are excellent, good. Depends on your requirement. You have to select the software. Primavera is it's a very old as compared to MS project, because MSP, they have started their journey in 1995, but Primavera, they have started journey from 1980. So it's an old one, and it's very popular in Middle East, in US, about the Primavera. MSP is most popular in Indian scenario because, see, if you see the mentality of the Indian people, that we need everything mostly it's easy, and which is there should not be any hurdle to operate the software. Before I maybe just take the question and answer, maybe the few tips which I would like to give to all these undergraduate students, that don't focus on to learn only the software. Focus the basic concept which you have learned from the first year to fourth year, and you have to apply it, right? And you should be master to operate the software logically. Otherwise, you can see there are so many YouTube's videos are available. It's available on Google, so that you will get at the basic level. But when the time has come to plan any project, you will fail, because without experience you cannot give justification to a role of a planning engineer, right? So that is the tip, very important, because just learning software and learning few software command, whether I will become as a planning engineer, my answer straightforward is that no, you cannot become a planning engineer straightforward. You should have at least experience. That experience means not maybe like 10 years, 15 years, but at least you should handle one project from the basic level. That is, from you have to complete cycle of the project from the beginning, means for like excavation to the finishing atom. You must know how to perform all these activities and so many things. So that is the tips I would like to say, because at Infini, maybe when the students are coming and then they're asking about the courses, so again we are giving the same advice, that you first get the experience on site and then you learn the software. This is not about only MS project, even other software also. Okay, so this is all about my overall presentation. Let me just take question and answer, and if I'm missing any questions, you please remind me.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Actually, sir presented very well. I'm Vivek Kasar from Gharda Institute of Technology. So basically, we are right now focusing about all the attendees are here. Mostly these are the research scholars, faculties, and some industrialist persons are here also. They are working in the planning department also. So right now, this is time is related with the if presentation is completed. So sir will be discussed during the question and answering again with you. So I am here for vote of thanks. So thank you, sir, for very well presenting here. And right now, this is I'm uh, I'm giving just time 5 to 10 minutes to all the candidates, all the participants to discuss with the sir regarding the any queries in MSPs. Thank you, sir.
Okay. One of the questions, you all participants, all attendees, you please post your questions in a chat box so that I will take all the questions. What are the questions that you have, right? One of the questions, which is the best institute in Kolhapur to learn all this software according to you? See, that you have to take a call, because I'm not aware about the institute in Kolhapur, but yes, definitely in Pune, that I'm not doing any marketing about my institute, but we are 100% sure about the quality, and we do have all the trainers, all the faculties from the industry. and so that we are confident about ourselves. So I cannot give any guarantee about the others institute. So that's the one thing. Second questions. Okay, if you are planning to settle out of India, which software you would be more focused on when it comes to construction management? Okay, Rishikesh, preferably you have to focus on Primavera as compared to MS Project. But again, the logic, the platform, the foundation will remain same. So Primavera is the best if you want to go outside of India. S.S.Patil. Okay, resource leveling by using MS Project. See, resource leveling within just 5 to 10 minutes, that it's very difficult for me to explain resource leveling, but definitely that we will make arrangement for the resource leveling or separate session where we have to optimize all the resources. You make sure that all the resources are available and utilized 100%. The resources should not be under allocated or over allocated. How to do? The software can do all this thing manually as well as automatic. This is a separate area. Today I'm here to just present the application of MS Project, but maybe when you explore it and if you have any issues, we can again come up with one more webinar about this detailed learning. Okay, after filling, okay, feedback. How we can determine the crashing of project in MS Project. Okay, so in case of this crashing of the project, you first understand when we have to go for the crashing. If it's not feasible to start activity parallelly, in that case you have to go for the crashing. What is the meaning of the crashing? You are increasing resources and then you are decreasing the durations of the activities. So increase resources, decrease the durations of activities without changing the existing relationship, and that you have to go for the crashing. You have to determine which activity has to be crashed, because it's first of all you have to crash the activity which is on a critical path. There is no point to crash the activity which is on a non-critical path. So with the help of maybe with the MSP also definitely we can do, but for that you have to just prepare your background. There is no direct facility to go for the crashing in MS Project. But you can go for the fast tracking where you can change relationship. You have to do this exercise in Excel sheet and then you have to directly implement in MS Project. Mr. Jay, I hope I have cleared your answer. Okay, can we carry out BC analysis using MS Project? What is the long form of BC analysis, or it's a ABC analysis? Anil, is it a ABC analysis? Because from the BC I am unable to recognize.
ABC analysis, sir.
Okay, okay. So yes, can we carry out the ABC analysis? Definitely we can do the ABC analysis, because that you will get all this data from here. If I just show here the resources, right click here, you can just click on resources and you can do all this ABC analysis by doing all your customization. You can provide different formulas. You can just do, you can categorize A atom resources, B atom resource, and C atom resources. That definitely that you can do. But again, there is no direct facility in MS Project. But can I do with the help of MS Project? The answer is yes, we can do. Okay, if I have cleared your answer, Anil, please say yes or no. Okay, let me just take one more question.
Sir, surely you have answered my query. Myself is Anil.
Thank you, thank you. What is the scope after taking masters in construction management? Okay, see, basically, after taking the masters in a construction management, you have a tremendous opportunities in a construction management, because in a construction management, not only the execution part, the different parts are available. Like there is the quality control, there is the safety is there, the coordination, obviously the planning, and mostly after completion of the master, you have to focus on to decide the strategies of the project, execution plan, and so many things are there. So you make sure that how we can complete the project within the scope, time, and the budget. It's a very challenging area. You cannot just copy paste one project from one file to other file. Every project is unique in nature, and so that there's a unique challenges for every project. And here you have to show your skills, how you are going to complete. So there are so many opportunities to complete the project. So many areas are there. I will just give you one some references. you can spend your entire life to all these following areas, like there's a scope management, the time management, and the cost management, resource management, communication, the stakeholder management, and so on even risk management. So there's so many areas are available. You can just take any area which you like. Okay, let me go ahead. What is the scope for making a career in only software like MSP or Primavera or not on site? Okay, this is a common question. Rishikesh, this is very common questions from
Yes,
all,
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, this is very common question from all graduate student, and you please get understand, and it's very please forgive me if I'm using any not appropriate words, but
Okay.
civil engineers these days, they think that I should get job in office directly. I will do some software course. I will learn
Okay.
like some CAD or AutoCAD or something. I want to sit in the office. I don't want to go on the site.
Okay.
But
Yes, sir.
get understand, we are civil engineer. Our
Yes,
life
sir.
has, okay, we have to spend 2 days on site, and if you are not spending your time, you are not getting experience on site, you will not give any justification to any role in office.
Okay.
And so
Yes,
better
sir.
first you go on site, then come in the office. Otherwise, don't do like this. First go in the office and then go on the site. So this is a wrong
Okay.
approach. So you please go on site, get experience, appropriate experience, and then you can
Okay, sir.
come back to the office, right?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay. Rashmi, can you suggest some good institute for applying master in project management? See, this is not a platform to just give the reference of any institute. This is just about the application of MS project or maybe the career in MS project. So you can search. Nothing is difficult to get the best institute. You can search on Google and you will get the answer. Okay. Can you share your number or mail ID if anyone needs to consult you? Okay. Professor Vivek Kasar is having my contact number. You please contact him so you will get it. Okay. So I have I think I have cleared all your doubts. Still, if you have, I can take 2-3 questions. Can I expect some questions or should we conclude?
Sir, myself is Mr. Anil Shelar. I
Yes,
am
sir.
acting as a lecturer and civil in charge head civil engineering department, Kushro,
Yes.
Varia, Pune.
Yes,
So
sir.
I would like to know about the costing, whether the smaller institutions can afford, smaller construction project can afford this or
See,
not.
okay. See, first of all, uh, forget about the cost. Even uh, you can take a simple spreadsheet and you can prepare a schedule. Suppose you don't want to invest anything, but if you want to take one copy of MS project, average cost will be 60,000. But if you see, as compared to 60,000, definitely that you will control the project and you can save the money. Just don't expect that everything I can recover in one project. So you are using MS project for a different project, and if you are taking any project and the cost of the project is generally these days is more than 20 crore, 30 crores, as compared to this 20 crore, 30 crore, 60,000 is very negligible, very negligible. And so better you can use. And these days the client demand that we need a schedule in MS project or Primavera. In that case, definitely that we have to produce it. But MSP is very maybe the less costly as compared to Primavera. If you go for Primavera, it goes to more than 1 lakh per license. If you have server, it goes to more to 5 to 6 lakhs. Again, it depends on the cloud. See, these days the technology, the advancement in the technology is like this. Just to imagine, you are on the site, you are working as an execution engineer or planning engineer. On site, that on your tab you will get the list of activities which you are supposed to complete today. The moment you complete activity, you have to just tick mark on the tab which is connected with the server. It will known to everyone within a fraction of second. So this is the advanced. So all depends on your requirement. So definitely around 60,000 is required license copy for MS project, sir. I hope I have cleared your doubt.
Thank you, sir. Very nicely. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. So Professor Kasar,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions should I expect, or should we conclude today's session?
Okay, sir, very well presented during this session. It was very excellent experience with you, sir. And most of the question have you cleared with us regarding this one. Thank you again, sir. Thank you, complete team of the Gharda Institute of Technology, and as well as the participants from the different institute and the various organizations from companies. Okay, so thank you again, sir. And right now here I am going to be just given guideline to the all the participants are there. There is a in the chat box feedback form is the provided there. Also we will provide the feedback form in Telegram channel also. Okay, so definitely you fill the form. Okay, thank you, thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, all participants, all professors. Kasar sir, thank you. You have given me an opportunity. So if you required any sessions which you want to discuss, like resource leveling, crashing, definitely we just look ahead and we will plan one more session. Thank you all attendees for your kind listening. So thank you. And so from my side, the session is concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
On Telegram channel we will share Professor Ade sir's number. Okay,
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Read the feedback form. Certificate after filling.
Where is the institute, sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Wanted to know, sir, where is the institute of this?
Sir, institute is in Chiplun, near Chiplun, sir, Konkan region.
Okay, so just wanted to ask, like, I'm a project engineer working and like having an experience of around 11 years. So if I want to do an MSP software, like how long it will take to,
Okay.
like what is the duration?
Wait a minute, sir. Are you asking for this Microsoft project training institute? No.
Yes, yes, sir. Right, sir.
Okay. Professor Ade sir's office is there. Infini Institute of Construction Management in Pune, Aranyeshwar.
Okay. All right.
And definitely we will share you all the addresses and the contact details on Telegram channel. Please join the Telegram channel, sir.
All right, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Kasar,
Okay.
sir.
Hello.
Sir. Will we get
Yes.
the copy of the certificate on our mail ID?
Sure. Definitely. After
Yes,
filling
sir.
your feedback form,
Yes, I've filled the
after
form,
filling
sir.
your feedback form, you will receive the certificate of the participation.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Can we call Ade sir on certain day to, if there is any kind of doubts to, like further like, want to learn something from him?
Yes, surely.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I will share
Actually,
you
I'm
all
going
the
to contact-
details of the Infini Institutes on the Telegram channel, sir. Don't worry.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Definitely you contact to the sir regarding this one. Definitely sir will help you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then, Kasar sir, can we end?
Yes.
Can we end the
Right
session?
now here, yes, we are concluding the session here right now.
Yes.
Thank you. I think sir is providing something details to you. Please, all of you,
Yeah.
you can take